In 1950, two brothers cutting peat in a Danish bog made an unexpected discovery: a human face, staring up at them from the mud. They thought they had found a recent murder victim. They called the police. The police arrived, forensic experts were called, and they discovered that this was not a recent murder. The man in the bog had been dead for 2,300 years. His face was intact, his skin was intact, his stubble was still visible, his last meal was still in his stomach. He is called Tollund Man, and he is the best preserved human being from the ancient world. He is not alone. Peat bogs are one of the most unusual environments on Earth. They are waterlogged, oxygen-poor, and highly acidic. Those three conditions combined create a natural preservative environment unlike anything else. The acid in peat acts like a tanning agent, the same process used to turn animal hides into leather. It preserves soft tissue, skin, hair, internal organs, while dissolving bone over time. The result is a body that looks almost like a sleeping person, but is thousands of years old. Over 1,000 bog bodies have been found across northern Europe, primarily in Denmark, Ireland, the UK, the Netherlands, and Germany. Most date to the Iron Age, roughly 500 BC to 100 AD, a period of Celtic and Germanic tribal cultures across northern Europe. Tollund Man is the most famous. Found in Denmark in 1950. His face is so well preserved that when you stand in front of him in the Silkeborg Museum today, he looks like he died yesterday. Around his neck, a braided leather rope. Still in place, he was hanged. And then placed in the bog with extreme care. His eyes were closed. His expression was peaceful. Whoever killed him took time to arrange him carefully after his death. Which immediately raises a question that has never been fully answered. Why? Why were these people killed? Why were they placed in bogs? What did it mean? The more bog bodies researchers study, the clearer a pattern becomes. These were not ordinary deaths. These were not accidents. Almost every bog body shows signs of what researchers call overkill. Multiple methods of death applied to the same individual. Tollund Man, found in England in 1984, had been hit on the head 3 times, strangled with a cord still around his neck, and had his throat cut. 3 separate methods of death applied to one person. This is not execution. This is ritual. The Roman writer Tacitus described Germanic tribes sacrificing people to gods by drowning them in bogs. He wrote about it as a documented, known practice. And when researchers analyzed the stomach contents of bog bodies, they found something consistent across multiple individuals: a final meal of a very specific kind, grains, seeds, mistletoe pollen, a meal that would have been almost inedible as nutrition, but matches what ancient sources describe as ritual preparation food, the mistletoe especially. Mistletoe was sacred to Celtic and Germanic peoples, associated with the gods, with sacrifice, with the boundary between the living and the dead. The people in the bogs may have eaten this meal as part of a ritual before dying, or they may have been force-fed it. We cannot tell from the physical evidence alone. But the pattern is consistent enough across many cases to be almost certainly ritual, not crime, ceremony. Here's the question that haunts bog body research. Who were these people? Were they criminals? Were they slaves? Were they volunteers? The physical evidence gives some clues. Tollund Man's hands were soft. No evidence of heavy manual labor. Tollund Man was well nourished. His nails were manicured. These were not slaves or the very poor. Several show signs of having been people of relatively high status, which opens an uncomfortable possibility. Were some of these people chosen? Even willing? In many ancient cultures, the person offered to the gods in sacrifice was not the lowest member of society. They were chosen people, special people, sometimes the most valued member of a community, given to the gods because they were the most valuable gift available. There is evidence from some bogs of what appear to be two individuals buried together, a killer and a victim, or two who went together willingly. We will never know for certain. What we know is this: these people died, were placed in the bog with care and intention, and the bog preserved them so well that 2,000 years later we can see their faces, their last expression, their last meal, the rope that killed them, all of it still here, waiting for us to understand what it meant. Over 1,000 bodies, preserved for 2,000 years in peat bogs across northern Europe, their faces intact, their last meals identifiable, their killers still unknown. Not crime scenes, ceremonies, for gods we no longer know the names of. If you want more of the ancient world looking back at us, subscribe. Next week, something hit Earth 12,800 years ago and ended an entire civilization in a single day.